What is up, everybody? Welcome in. It's Friday. DFS Army MLB pre-lock show, Razzle and Tattoo. You guys will have to let me know if you're hearing echoes watching it live because that's all I'm hearing from my. So we already say that they have it. So I don't know what's going on here. How about now? Yeah, I see it too. Still here.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Echo
Man.
the Bunnyman.
Oh,
Ah, fuck. Hello?
how do I sound right now? Oh, still.
I don't echo.
This is something got messed up.
Relax, relax, relax.
Dumb.
I need some information first.
Um,
Just the basic facts.
this is
Well, we talk real quick,
messed
man.
up.
Beat the echo. Is it okay when I whisper?
All right. Tattoo, you just get started on the slate and just talk. I'm gonna exit out and restart my computer and see if that changes everything because it's the computer. My mic wasn't isn't the issue. So
I will talk softly on this heart of mine. Well, y'all are stuck with me. Um, well, I did FanDuel, and to me, I think Tully and Ivaldi are, the best choices. I didn't mind Messick, but the White Sox, can still be a little scary. I wrote down Leahy, and I want to like him. And if my memory is correct, which I wouldn't swear to it, Colorado's coming out of Colorado. This is the first series since we're out of Colorado, if I remember correctly. But I think I could get there on DraftKings more than FanDuel. FanDuel, I think it's just better pitchers, even though he's a big favorite. But I'm glad to see. Well, I wish it would have stayed up there, but Gossman's ownership came down to where it makes sense because fuck Echo. Um, let's see. You're talking about Klassen. I mean, Miami is really falling off a cliff, which God damn it, makes me not mind Tyler Phillips either. Picking on the Angels, but that'll end up being a 11-10 game or some shit.
Hello.
I didn't
I didn't
hear
hear
you.
any echo that time.
I didn't.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right,
Is it
I
me
don't
you're
hear any
looking
echo
for?
at all.
Hello.
All right, there we go.
Is it
Ears, I can
me
get you some if you need it.
looking for?
All right, but let's see what happens when I share.
I can get you tuna fish in a can, in bulk.
How about now? No echo?
I'm a bu- bu- buffering.
So weird. I don't know what was going on, but uh, where'd you get in terms of pitching? Or who have you discussed? Who haven't you discussed?
I have discussed, not at any great length, that Tolly Valdi are my two favorites. That Kevin Gosman's ownership makes more sense than it did this morning. I don't mind Messick, but I mean the White Sox still scare me. And we were discussing Kyle Leahy and then Phillips and Clausen were being discussed.
Um, so I guess my two favorite pitchers are Drew Rasmussen and Kiter Montero. Pitching in San Francisco against, I don't know if you've happened to look at the San Francisco lineup the last few days,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how ugly that looks. So I like that. I like the fact that I can get both of them for right now a combined, what is that, 17.2%. With that said, like Tolley and Evalde are right behind them, so like it's not like I'm fading chalk to get to those guys.
Yeah.
Uh,
But if you play Montero on FanDuel, if you get 1%, you'll be twice the field.
it's an interesting thing.
Or half the field. He's 0.5% owned.
You mentioned Kyle Leahy, George Clausen, and Tyler Phillips. Um, the short answer for me is I'm playing none of them. Uh, I would not be shocked if Tyler Phillips is much higher owned than the 4% because people do blindly just pick on LA,
Yeah.
which I understand, but it's also Tyler Phillips. Um,
Yeah, my takeaway was I understood um, almost from both sides. You know, Miami had been cold here recently, the last couple games. You know, picking either side, but then I also could see that game being, like 10-9 or something.
yeah, I mean, Clausen just isn't very good right now. Hasn't been. I don't think he's really been stretched out or anything. Um, so I just can't get there. Um, just like thinking with Kyle Leahy, uh, it really isn't the Colorado offense that's the issue, especially when they're facing right-handed pitching. And Kyle Leahy has had some struggles with left-handed bats. I expect Colorado to be pretty left-hand heavy. So, like, to me, I think Kyle Leahy's an easy fade, but maybe I'm missing something.
Is there
Um,
anybody under Montero price wise
price
that you
wise,
have any interest in?
I mean, yes, but it's very puke interest. Um, right now, I'm debating between Roki Sasaki and Ronel Blanco. Um, and I'll try to talk them out for everybody because then maybe it'll help me. So the issue with Roki Sasaki is when he sucks mightily, and Arizona just does not strike out that much.
Yeah.
You strike out slightly more against right-handed pitching, but they just don't strike out a whole lot. And given his issues in allowing base runners, if he can't get a bunch of strikeouts, does that hurt him so much on DK because of the efficiency thing? Um, but then, the debate is against Ronel Blanco, who is either getting super unlucky or he's getting super lucky. And how I explain that is either he's getting super lucky and just not giving up hits, or he's getting super unlucky because his walks turn into 2 and 3 run home runs. Right? Like he's giving up a bunch of home runs in a short period of time with a
Yeah.
bunch of walks. Um, because if you take a couple of those walks away, those home runs don't happen. At least with guys on base, he's not giving up solo home runs, right?
Yeah.
So he's something is changing when he walks a dude because he's still striking out a bunch of guys. So one thing is going to regress in a positive manner. Either it's the home
And then,
runs
like,
and walks, or it's
pitching
just the
from the
hits are going to
stretch affects him.
can be an issue. Yeah, especially coming back from Tommy John, right? Like so, the pitching from the stretch might be an issue, or just the stress itself of having a runner on base where he thinks he has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Um, like at some point, one of those two is going to correct itself. It's just which one is it, the positive one or the negative one? Um, so I'm really torn. I think from a matchup standpoint, the answer probably should be just play Ronel Blanco and not Roki Sasaki. From a talent standpoint, I think it's play Roki over Ronel, but I can't decide which one to go with right now. One is a massive favorite and one's a slight underdog as well.
Yeah. Like, I wrote up Saki more for that point on FanDuel. Just, he's the biggest favorite, and that means something over there.
Yeah.
But, not don't see the high upside with, like we said, Arizona doesn't strike out.
Yeah, I'm gonna look on Stat Muse really quick. Let me see. I'm gonna see what starting pitchers have done against Arizona over the last 30 days from a DraftKings standpoint. Um, so that's 25 games, right? Over the last 30 days against the Diamondbacks. So 25 starting pitchers, technically. And I'm going to scroll through just to see if there's any opener scenario. And it looks like there was 2 openers in that stretch. But 25 games, starting pitchers have combined for 245 DK points against them in 25 games. So That is just under 10 fantasy points per start against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Only one pitcher has more than 19.9 DK points against them in the last 30 days. That pitcher was Gavin Williams, who magically struck out 10 because he's been phenomenal recently. 25 starts, only 6 pitchers have more than 15 fantasy points against them. More than 14.9 technically. So that Arizona matchup just is not the best for starting for fantasy upside wise.
Yeah. I think I'd have more interest in Arizona stacks than Saki.
Probably. It's tough.
Maybe not 5-man, but stacks.
Because the big thing is like a lot of these pitchers near the top, even though they haven't gotten to 20 fantasy points against them, like they've only given up a couple of runs. Michael King 1 earned, Sheehan 2 earned, Michael McGreevy 1, Randy Vasquez 0, Parker Messick 1, Tanner Bybee 2. Like they're not giving up a bunch of runs either. It's just like the strikeouts are not there to help.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have to start using that stat news search more often now that I have the right wording for it, because it really gives us an idea of which matchups themselves have upside. Did you touch on Logan Gilbert at all when you talked? Or?
I didn't. Hadn't gotten there yet because I kind of like both pitchers, and Gilbert at home, good, but Tampa Bay does not strike out, so I think that limits his upside to me. He's 10K, and I like multiple pitchers better than him that I don't have to spend 10K.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a fade in what I'm doing. I just don't like picking on Tampa Bay with pitching, especially when it's right-handed pitching. I did notice that Logan Gilbert has thrown like 78 home innings this season. Can you guess how many home runs he's allowed at home?
How many innings?
In that ball, 78 innings.
Because I want to think it's low. I'd say like 3. Where he's like 11. God.
16 home runs. In that ballpark, somehow he's allowed 16 home runs in 78 innings.
One every 5-6 innings?
That's one every less than 5.
Yeah.
5 innings would be 80. 80 innings pitched, so it's just under. But still, like that's
4
not what
2/3.
You just don't expect that in this ballpark. Especially for a guy that overall his numbers outside of that are much stronger when he pitches at home. So like, yes, he's got to be due for some positive regression in that regard. But I mean, the nice thing is, like, I guess over the last 5 home starts, he's allowed 4 home runs, so like it's been a little better. But he's given up 3+ runs in 4 straight starts as well. So like if he doesn't have the access to the K upside, I just don't think he's worth paying 10K for. So he's probably the scariest fade for me. Like I'm fading Gausman. I'm gonna let him have a debut with the Cubs and see what kind of performance he's got, or if he's a little bit more motivated or whatever. That's more of a wait and see. But
Yeah.
it's the Logan Gilbert one that does scare me. I'm gonna share the stat moves tab really quick. I can't scroll up any higher. So like the screen share thing only shows It does show Gavin Williams, but it doesn't show the categories at the
But
top.
yeah,
But right here you see the highlighted. That's DK points in a start against them over the last 30. It's from July 8th through August 7th through today, but um, that just shows like it's just wild. You know, the ninth best performance is Griffin Canning with 12 fantasy points. Should we? Here, I'm gonna. Since I was debating it, I might as well do it right on screen. I'm gonna change it to the San Diego Padres. That's 25 starting pitchers. And from what I can tell, none of them are openers. So in that same time frame, the Padres have had 5 guys throw 21 or more fantasy points.
whoa.
Now they are only averaging 11 fantasy points per start in those 25 games. That they've given up 272 DK points to starting pitchers. So on a per game average, they're very similar, but like they allow pitchers to get there more often. And 2 of those 5 have come this week. So maybe that just kind of makes up my mind for playing upside in Blanco over Sasaki.
I was trying to look for pitchers who like normally kind of suck and how they, how they did,
Well,
which
there's a
it
few
seems
of
to
them
be a
right
list
there.
full of guys that aren't that great.
Yeah, Mitch Brott, Merrill Kelly, Brandon Pfaadt, Jansen Junk, Tyler Mahle are all in the top 9. Like you expect Chris Sale. You probably
Yeah.
expect Robbie Ray because whatever. Probably expect a little bit of Gaussman, that way. But yeah, you definitely don't expect Brandon Pfaadt. It's wild. 3 Arizona Diamondback pitchers in that top 5 against San Diego over the last month. But yeah, this is just a fun way to try to compare some pitchers that you're debating. You can just see what starting pitchers have done. You don't have to go 30 days. You can go 14 days or whatever, or you can probably put in 14 games for what just to get you an idea of what teams are doing against starting pitching. But is there any other pitcher that comes to mind that you want to talk about? Like, I guess we haven't really talked about Max Fried. Like, what are you going to do with Max Fried?
I'm not really overly interested in him. If I recall, like the weather, it's already Yankee Stadium. And I think we got the wind blowing out a little bit, but I don't mind him. But I mean, I'm not looking to go pick on the Braves. I mean, they don't strike out either.
Yeah, this one's tougher. He's been fine
But,
pitching at home. So like, it's the home thing
yeah,
isn't that big a deal.
like I don't think I would like scream and yell to talk somebody out of it.
Right.
But you know,
He feels like somebody
a
that I'm kind of gonna match the field on.
you know,
Um, because like I mean, facing his former team, I think there's some extra motivation. There's probably some motivation just based on some of the starts he's had since returning from the IL as well. Um, and if there's any pitchers that you want to use against the Braves, it would be left-handed pitching over right-handed pitching. Uh, is there just
oh damn. Uh, I read tornado and I was like, no. It says your audio only. This has been a fun one, folks.
Am I back now?
Audio wise,
What the? My entire all of my monitors went pitch black, just out of nowhere. And my computer shut down, but not completely. Like it just went to sleep or something. Um,
we can just pretend you're hiding in the dark.
I mean, I felt like I'm in the dark, but holy cow, what was that? Like, there's no storm going on here. I didn't lose power.
I,
Uh,
ironically, I have a major storm getting ready to hit.
Holy, that was. Now I'm acting.
Yeah.
Well, best show ever.
Like Tolly and Evaldi are getting a little closer in ownership.
Um.
Half dozen one the other.
All right. You can start just talking about your favorite offenses, and I'm gonna be right back again.
All right. So offenses. I'll tell you that Boston was my favorite offense. Really, that goes back. Yeah, I think he just maybe went to shitmas protection. Let me find my sheet here. But yeah, Boston is my favorite. Just been red hot. I mean, no pun intended. Like the Cubs, Milwaukee, Dodgers, Arizona, I can see, being high scoring. Cleveland, Colorado, Yankees, Braves, they're all kind of tier two. And then I got Houston, Detroit, Miami, Angels. But it looks like Miami is the number one leverage team, followed by Boston, Milwaukee. And let's see, straight up ownership: Cubs, Dodgers, Boston, Miami, St. Louis. I don't feel like Miami has done it the last few days. After being red hot. I mean, they got a couple Stowers, but his numbers are trending down from 14 to his 7-day, so he's heading in the wrong direction. Nobody else is doing a whole lot. Like, you got a couple guys like Marcy and Mac that have high ISOs and decent OPS, but they're over shorter plate appearances. They don't have as many. So out of that first section.
Is there an echo?
Echo dot.
I don't hear it, but that doesn't mean
I don't hear anything.
Like, you don't hear me?
No, I hear you. I don't hear any echo.
All right.
But ownership's kind of wild tonight.
Super,
I
super
mean, in
weird.
terms of
So,
like dropping off a cliff, kind of.
yeah, I was.
I mean, this
I actually
the
was a little shocked to see Cubs number one.
yeah. I mean, like the decline is slow at first, but then after you get to past Cleveland and stuff, it's just like,
Yeah,
and I mean, I don't like a lot of them, but I mean, I like Atlanta, and he's 16%, Arizona 17%, Colorado 18%,
I mean the
Kansas
the
City. I mean,
the Colorado and the New York Yankee combination for 41.5% feels really nice to me. Um, I mean, even Houston down here, the way that they've been swinging it, plus we've seen the pitchers making their debuts with new team
yeah.
kind of struggle initially. Like Robbie Ray with San Diego could see some struggles right away potentially, even though I think he's used to that ballpark, having pitched there with San Francisco. So like, I don't know about that, but Houston's just been so good. But then again, that's when they're at home that they're really seem to be strong. Who is your number one team tonight?
Boston, which still at 78%, they're you know damn near half of the Cubs and a third less than Dodger.
I mean, Boston's number one for me too, and then the Dodgers are number two. So like,
Yeah,
somewhat chalkier. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I have the Cubs in my top five. I think actually I might have.
Cubs
Um,
are my other tier one.
Cubs made it fifth for me behind the Yankees and the Milwaukee Brewers. So like two of my top four teams are really expensive. The Brewers and Dodgers, super expensive stacks on DK.
Cubs are yeah, they're pretty expensive.
They are too. I mean, so yeah, they're fifth on mine, and they're the third most expensive stack. Um, Tampa Bay being the fourth most expensive stack kind of leads me to my next question. Since we talked about Gilbert and the idea of probably not playing him, are we interested in actually stacking Tampa Bay or not?
No, I'd play Junior one off if I really wanted to pay up for a batter.
I mean, I think I'm gonna mini stack them like J Cam with Aranda
Yeah,
or Yandy. Chandler Simpson's been hot, but it's just a bunch of singles and then stolen bases, hopefully. Um,
I guess it depends on like Boston's 3,500, but I know the guys that I want aren't that cheap. I want to make sure I have Willer Abreu. I want to make sure I have Rafael Sedania. Then I have to figure out from there. I guess Duran's been hot.
I mean, almost the entire starting lineup for Boston.
Yeah,
Um,
Monasterio.
one thing that on this leverage stack screen that I want to point out, Miami. Now they're aggressively owned, and like on the far right, the number one leverage stack and the number one pitcher woba matchup. Now realize that pitcher woba number is a super small sample size from Clausen, um, and a lot of that was from months ago. Um, so like I feel like that is um, kind of skewing the leverage rank thing. Like if that pitcher woba was a bit lower, like they wouldn't be number one in the leverage rankings. So in case you were using Miami just based on the leverage thing, I would drop them down a little bit just because. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm still using Miami, but
they're my bottom tier. Their bats are just heading the wrong way. Yeah, we
yeah, I
know
don't. I mean,
Boston.
yeah, virtually the same ownership as Boston. Like, give me Boston every single time. Um,
Boston has five guys. Um, Now barely Caleb Durbin doesn't meet the 1,000 threshold. He's at 940 OPS. Um, all the other guys are above 1,000, and all of them are above 200 in ISO over the last week. Like Durbin, Contreras, Duran, Abreu, Rafaela.
yeah, Yoshida isn't too far behind either.
No,
So that like creates four outfielders. I'm not sure is Contreras in the lineup because obviously he missed.
I haven't looked.
I'm gonna try to see if their lineup is out right now.
It says it's confirmed. But I'm thinking no.
No Contreras. Which is really annoying. And then also they're going with Jake Rogers at catcher, so that gives them a weaker lineup spot as well. But still,
I think Drake Rogers is 1 for 1 with a home run.
yeah.
Huge sample size.
Um, man, who is your
What is
favorite
that?
most off the ball stack? I guess.
Off the wall stack.
Yeah.
Um, if it's off the wall by ownership and the fact that they're dead last in leverage, Atlanta. Um, and ownership under. I switched it around, but ownership. God damn it. I was gonna say under 20% Colorado, but I don't know who else is under there. Arizona, Colorado, Yankees, all right there. In that 20%. If you can consider them oddballs.
Yeah. I mean, the Yankees in Colorado should be higher owned. Um, I don't know if I can get behind Atlanta. There's just so much about the matchup just doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
I think it might be San Diego, and that feels gross because of what I talked about, obviously with Ronel Blanco. Like, if it's the hit thing for him that regresses the wrong way, and he keeps his walk home run issue, like then San Diego's in like an elite upside spot. Um, so like, and they're fourth in leverage rank despite being, you know, that way down there at 7% owned. I think there's just some upside there. Like I think people are just skipping over it. So it's probably San Diego. I mean, the other one is Houston in that same game, but I don't love stacking San Diego very often. But If you tell me they're a strong leverage stack and being super overlooked at the same time, I might have to, just in case I'm wrong, about Ronel Blanco and the way things are trending. But are you using any of the White Sox at all tonight? Since I know you generally play them often.
I don't. It's a few guys I like, but I'm not really rushing to stack them.
Yeah.
I might be more
I think
likely to use Messick than stack them.
Yeah, I think I'd rather use Baltimore against Uvalde than the White Sox against Messick. Uh, like when Uvalde has struggled this year, it's like random couple of home runs, and I think Baltimore's got that in them tonight, even though it feels gross. I'm not using Baltimore, but I think I would just roll with them over the White Sox.
Yeah.
Obviously, the field kind of thinks the same, but they're still on and off. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about offenses. I'm just kind of annoyed by all of my computer issues.
Yeah, we can roll through the stuff, position by position. I need to go to the pharmacy. I ran out of medicine a few days ago, and I am dying to get it back in my system.
Yeah, might as well do that so we get started. It's almost 5 o'clock Central Time, so
yeah.
Might as well get going, and I'll let you go through position by position first. I will follow, and then you can give your dong out, and then we'll be on our way.
Yeah. Like I said, I wrote for FanDuel, and I don't put a whole lot into catcher, but I did like Dylan Dingler stood out a little bit. First base, I don't know how they're doing it. I haven't looked at whatchamacallit, but assuming Paul Goldschmidt's in and safe, I like him with his history versus Mahal. And I like Freddie Freeman. Second base, probably Nico. Third base, you can always say J Cam. But I also like Max Muncy and J Ram. Shortstop, really like Mookie Betts. Outfield, they're my cores. But Rafaela, Willer Abreu, I love Teoscar Hernandez tonight. Shohei would be, my favorites. Oddbally, Brandon Nimmo, but I'm not super high on Texas.
For me, you mentioned Dylan Dingler, obviously not the greatest ballpark. I'll go with Joe Mack as my other favorite. Been swinging it pretty well as the main catcher now, and obviously people want to pick on Clausen. Mack's low enough owned despite the higher ownership for Miami, so I'm interested there. First base, there is no Paul Goldschmidt tonight for the Yankees. I thought maybe they might sneak him in just because he has such extremely nice BVP, but you mentioned my favorite. It's Freddie Freeman, and if you want to get away from that, I am going to go to Matt Olson, who's been rolling.
Yeah.
No, it's left on left, but it's still Yankee Stadium. So Matt Olson makes sense to me. Second base, it's Jose Altuve if you are a fan of BVP. He's 11 for 20 with 2 home runs, a triple, 3 doubles, and 3 walks against Robbie Ray. If you are not a fan of BVP, Royce Lewis has been on fire. OPS almost 1,400 over the last week or 10 days. So Royce Lewis makes a lot of sense to me.
If you're cheap, Miguel Rojas.
I don't even know if he's going to be in the lineup. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because they are facing a righty. He had some BVP in his favor as well, but just feels like he's not going to be in there. But I could be wrong. Third base, I have a bunch of names listed on the site. I don't necessarily love a whole lot. J-Cam, obviously, or Max Muncy. Muncy's got pretty strong BVP too, but that's spending a lot of money at third base as well. So if you wanted to go cheap, maybe Ryan McMahon. He's had a little bit of success against Tyler Mahle. 5 for 18 with 2 home runs, a triple, and a double. Shortstop, I don't mind Mookie, but my number one is Bobby Witt. I believe he's 6 for 12 since coming off of the IL. And he's also 5 for 15 with 2 home runs against Kevin Gausman. So fits pretty well. You want some off the radar one that nobody's talked about recently? Corey Seager is back, and in the last 5 games he's 7 for 17. So somebody that nobody thinks about anymore because he can't avoid the IL. Outfield, you definitely can take any Boston outfielder right now based on what they've been doing. I think it's a real big coin flip between PCA, Shohei, and even Jordan for your spend up in the outfield. I think you can play any of those 3 and just be in a great spot. I really like. You mentioned Brandon Nimmo, who's been pretty good over the last week, but I don't know. I really like the potential left-handed bats for Colorado. So Mickey Moniak, even though he's much better at home, Cole Carrick, McCarthy's cooled off a little bit. So it's kind of where I'm going with some of my off-the-wall outfielders. Wade Meckler, another name. Looks like he's leading off tonight. And I think what's his numbers recently? OPS to 1226 over the last week. One last name that I think people are going to kind of ignore that I want to get exposure to, Julio Rodriguez. A little bit of success against Drew Rasmussen, and he's got an OPS over 1,000 over the last week. I think he's kind of the one guy for Seattle that I'm a little bit worried about for my Rasmussen exposure. Tattoo, give your dongs out and we can get out of here.
Let's see. I like Petey Crow, Jack Caglione, Harper, Bryce Harper, and I'm trying to find, let's see, Esmerlin Valdez, and a otter ball, maybe Brady House.
A couple of those games on the early turbo slate or whatever are going to start delayed.
Yeah, I take back Brady House.
Toronto delayed, Washington and Cincinnati are delayed as well. But
And add Joe Adele.
That's all we got. I don't really have any dinger calls because I have not even made my choice for this evening. Maybe I go back to Matt Olson, who's gotten me a couple over the last week. But yeah,
Me, you, and Upper in a 3-way.
Yeah, finally got myself to the top. Need to capitalize and have a couple more this weekend to feel better. But
Yeah.
Members, hit us up in Discord, share your screenshots, all the fun stuff. Non-members scrolling at the bottom of the screen, our best promo code BOOK, BOOK, gets you 20% off any membership at dfsarmy. Link in the description below. We're back Monday at some point. Have a great weekend, everybody. Best of luck. And helmets up. And we're out.
Got the best coaches in the game. We really ain't playing. We regroup up in the Slack chat where the coaches debrief. We be piecing these puzzles, occupy the chunk of the pie. Ain't no lie when we hit the block. Helmets casket is got. You be seeing helmet after helmet, helmet after helmet. First place, second place, fifth place, eighth place, 12th place, 15, 16, 20. So many helmets, you got blurred vision. We got too many. Tick the check. Oh man, shit. They got us fucked up. Army, regroup. We pledge always to have that edge. We don't fire warning shots. Competition just dropped. We locked and loaded before lock. Whatever the time, yeah. Do you even correlate?
Being the best requires a willingness to outwork your competition. There's always someone smarter, faster, sharper, more naturally gifted.